What if I told you it was possible to gain 90% more control over your life right now? Today I'm going to tell you one of my biggest secrets, an easy mind shift that you can make today to start getting your control back. Most of us are only aware of about 10% of the decision and programming that's going on in our mind. So what in the world is happening with the other 90? Now imagine an army in your mind of minions. These minions are busily going about tasks that they think they're supposed to be doing. They're collecting data to prove all the things that you believe about yourself and about the world. They're busily trying to prove that you're right, and they're trying to get you the results they think that you want. Unfortunately, the negative voice in your head has been controlling your army of minions. It's been telling them negative things about you, and then the minions have been proving that that is true. They're trying to keep you safe, but in all reality, they're just making you be a failure and proving that your suspicions are true. Imagine if you stepped in as general of your army. What if you told your minions exactly what you really want to believe about yourself? The things in life that you really want to accomplish and achieve, the success that you really want for your future self. What if you told it to do those things and show you proof of the things that you want to believe about yourself? I personally have found this is the missing piece to why positive affirmations fail. When we fail to remove 90% of that negative programming in our mind, no matter how many times we say these positive statements, they never work because they are far outweighed by all the things that negative voice in your head are saying. You have to get rid of them in order to make a positive affirmation work. When I first understood this principle, I realized why I had failed in making positive affirmations work in my life. I was trying to make a change, and it felt like everything was against me and that I was working an uphill battle. When I realized that this negative voice in my head had been controlling 90% of what was going on in my brain, I realized I had to change something. I had to take control. I had to become the general to my army. Gone are the days of uphill battles trying to prove that I am worthy and an okay person. I took over the captain seat and I started to change. And it starts kind of like this. Maybe you trip. And the old negative voice would have told the minions, oh, I'm so clumsy, I'm always falling over. But you start to be the general in your own army. And that looks like, when that happens, I say, oh, that's not like me. I'm not one to trip over. I'm very well coordinated. I take over that voice. And even in times where I think a negative thought might be appropriate, I turn it into a positive. I say to myself, that's not me, and this is me. Now that I'm in charge of that army in my mind, I tell it what I want. And when I realize that maybe that negative voice has slipped in again, I start directing it yet again and say, that's not like me, and this is like me, and everything I do. And the results will amaze you. The power to steer your life in the direction you choose is now back in your hands, where it should be. You can take control over that 90% that has tried to make you a failure, and you can start having it work for your good. And you will find a couple interesting things. Your life will seem easier. You will be less stressed, and you'll actually have to put less effort to get more results. I know that sounds kind of crazy, but when you're not fighting against a pressure that's pushing you in the wrong direction, it makes life easier. If you're not running into the wind your whole life, maybe you go from running uphill in the wind to going downhill with the wind. It makes life so much easier not to have that negative force. It is up to you to take control of your army, to be the general, to step up. You are the only one that can do it. I'm sorry I can't do it for you, otherwise I would. But I don't know what your true potential is. Only you can unlock that. In the scriptures, it says, ask and ye shall receive. What if that negative voice in your head has been asking and receiving without you knowing it? What if you could start asking for what you want and receiving the thing that you actually want instead of failure? Wouldn't that be nice? You actually have that control right now. All you have to do is step up and be your general. The point of power is always in the present moment. That means that you have the power to change your life today, no matter how broken you might have felt and how true that negative voice might have sounded to you. You can change it today. You are infinitely more powerful than that negative voice. You just need to step up and take command over your army.